Hi, this is Mia, and it's already Thursday night, almost 11, after 10 anyways. I put my daughter in a school today, a new one, a web school. We got there, and they're like, we don't have any record, we don't have any classes, you're not supposed to be here, and I was like, you're kidding me. I've been spending the past few weeks doing phone tag, and trying to fax stuff, and email stuff, and sending all this junk to multiple people, and all of a sudden they're like that. I was just like, no. Like, I was like, I'm not leaving. No, my daughter's like, I want to go home and go to bed. You're going to make a big deal. Last year we had a web school, poor academy. It didn't work out. She would have been finishing 12th grade right now. Or she would have already had it done. And because something didn't happen, I pulled her out. And even the classes that she had credits for, we don't have. Because we tried to figure out how to get credits, with technical difficulties. We had 6 broken computers, laptops, within 3 months' time. It was just so much of a nightmare, and I'm praying that this year is better. I want to go retro and see if I can get her credits. There was 2 electives. Without electives, we were booted off some of the web accounts, and the teacher would not put her back in to the class. She deleted her account, and she wouldn't put her back in the class. And then she waited several weeks, and 3-4 weeks later, she put her back in the class. And my daughter had done several weeks of work, been halfway through the class, and then they put her back at 0. And it's there was nothing we could do. We were calling every day, and I'm a student, and I have clinic, and I'm spending all my time calling, oh, I thought I already fixed that. Oh, I told someone about it. Oh, I don't know what to do. And it's then you contact the people that you think she's contacting. Oh, we didn't hear anything. We haven't got any messages. And I just feel so bad because I was being so patient last year. I knew it was a new teacher. I knew it was a academy that was open enrollment, saying any time of the year you could start, and that you'd be given your whatever accommodation you need to finish in your own time. And I asked that in the beginning because it took several weeks for them to even be given the placement test and being put into their classes, because we ended up not having the correct passwords or logins, and it was a lot of technical issues. Today we went in, the lady put my kid in 7 classes, I think 7 credits, and I think one of them is going to be half credit now, half credit in the fall or in the winter, whatever. And she's gonna do I guess you get your grades every quarter, and then you earn your credit at the end of the year. So I'm a little bit hesitant, but in a way I'm happy that she's earning credits, because as a homeschooler she doesn't get credits. There was a girl who traveled around the country and around the world with her parents, and they decided to sell their big house that they had in the middle of the country and move to the south and get connected with church. And she ended up going to school, but I knew her as a homeschool child, and she traveled, did homeschool, and then her parents put her in regular school, and she did a graduation when she was over 18, and then she ended up, she walked through graduation. However, she ended up taking the GED, and I asked her, I was like, why did you take the GED? She's like, well, I was like, I thought you went to school. She's like, yeah, I did, but I would have had to take 36 or whatever it was. Not 36. It was I'm streaming up. It's I had to take all these credits, and then that might have been 36. She's like, I had to take all these credits in order to graduate with a high school diploma, and I felt like it was easier to just take the GED, like after age 16, 17, 18, take the GED and pass that, and then go on to community college or whatever college. She was going to beauty school, actually. And, because it's hard knowing, I was going to put there's a lot of homeschoolers that are really smart, and they start college at 16, and they just pass all the tests, and pretty much in this county, if you finish your 10th grade test, your parents, I think, decide when you're done. And it's like, I don't know what to do about anything, because I am, I don't know. I just feel like I'm really actually excited about getting credits, and my son is an 8th grader, and I'm gonna see if I could transition him to the same school to get high school credits. And I don't see how I would get him to take. He would take basically 3 regular tests and potentially ACT, SAT, and all that, like 3 tests in order to get a GED as a homeschooler, and 2 tests are homeschool and 1 for a degree. I just feel like it sounds really difficult to me. It sounds easier just to take classes, and you have an option of staying home. So I'm going to see how it works with my daughter, and then decide later with my little boy what's going on. And I am thinking, I get a business book in front of me, and I have my mind saying the board exam results are coming, and I don't have the results, and I'm having faith that I passed, and I've prayed today and told God. I've done some overstudying many times and kind of fell apart during the test, and there's times that now I feel like, God, I know I didn't study as much as I wanted to, as far as kind of cramming and getting as much as I wanted, 100% in every subject. And I know that I feel like if I go back time, I would do some things a little bit differently. And actually, when I go back in time, I said I did everything that I planned on doing. I don't remember skipping. Like, sometimes you skip, like, there's another set of notes I need to study. Like, there's a book that was 700 pages that I got late that I didn't read, but all the other stuff, I read a lot of the book, actually, and all the other stuff I didn't. So currently, I'm trying to decide. I'm like, okay. I'm like, there's nothing I can do. It's going to be like 2 weeks until we get our grades. It's already the middle of September. It's going to be any day that we get our grades. And I'm concerned. And there's just, sometimes like, oh, I know I got all this right. And it's like a few things you're like, oh, I know I got this wrong. And then there's like some you're like, I have no idea what they were even asking. So I can't even fathom. Like, sometimes I make like, oh, you're stupid. It's like, it was a trick question. You know. Like, I can clearly tell you one trick question. I'm not going to tell anyone. You're not supposed to, but I can think it in my mind. I'm in a position right now where I was thinking about the girls' family who travel around the world. They sing Christian music in churches, and now they're doing video and audio, and they're working from home and working together as musicians, and they sell CDs, and they travel to foreign countries on these ministry trips. And I just feel like we they just say, hey, we're gonna go travel again. God has it in our plan to travel. Here's our contact information, please send us money. And it's like, then they get places and they book up all these shows. That's what musicians do. And they get all these people to fund them. And I'm just like, I'm a single mom. I'm trying to work, go to school. I still don't have enough, and I'm like, want somebody to fund. It's like, I'm still end up for me. It's like, it's just pennies, counting pennies, literally. And I was talking about publicly finally about trying to get new beds, and everyone's not. Me and my kids, the three of us, don't want to get matching furniture or beds. We don't want to spend money, but it feels so necessary. It feels like when there's gonna be I'm gonna put it on my prayer list. It's like, this is like killing my back and my neck and giving me headaches, and this is like, if you have shoes that give you cramps and foot ache, like, get rid of them. It's like, you can't get rid of them because you need work clothes and job interview clothes and like all this stuff, you know. And I'm in this position where I'm just kind of angry about that. I don't want to talk too loud. My daughter's gonna be upset. I was just like, oh, what if he just was one of those people that could be funded? And it's not like it's not like they're just like taking handouts and just bumming around. It's like, it's not for everyone to travel back and forth across the country and around the world on airplanes. It's like, it sounds almost glamorous to me. It sounds like we're just gonna sit at home and be a family and get in the car and go and sing, and my kids are grown up, so it's like almost like empty now. So it's like, I don't know. It's just so crazy. It's so like, I was trying to do a little bit of campaigning, like, can someone donate? I knew all these people that would donate for ministry work and get thousands of dollars, and they were people working multiple jobs on top of getting $1,000, and it's like, they didn't, like me, I had to pay for daycare, you have to pay for extra food, you have to pay for a bigger house. I'm not like squatting on people's couches or in a mobile home, traveling like a travel trailer or whatever. And it's like, people were so ignoring me. It's like, in my faith, in my old church, it's like, if you said you're such and such in a ministry, or you're going to a ministry school, they're gonna be like, oh, we gotta give you thousands of bucks. But if you say you're in a medical school as a single black woman with 2 kids, they're gonna be like, you are an idiot, and that is not what poor people do. That's only what rich people do. It's like, whatever. It's like, you just expect every doctor's parents to pay their $300,000 of student funds in all their college and all that. Like, it's like, maybe that's why there's not different, doctors, but a lot of times people work from the ground up and they bust their butt, and it's like, sometimes if your parents got $300,000 cash to give you over the course of 4 to 7 years, then it's like, you could just sit at home and live in a house and drive a Porsche and have food money. Like, it's a lot more difficult to go to the school and give the school 100% of your money, or 75% of your money, and the rest on housing and bills and all that. It's like, I don't know. I just felt like, as a firm believer in my faith, other people who shared my faith, you would think it doesn't matter if you're going to school to be a teacher, you're going to school to be a doctor, you're going to school to be a child care worker, you want to set up like a playground in your backyard for kids, even if it's not child care, just for kids to play, learn to be a loving person of faith. It's like, you don't have to have this ministry title in order for them to donate to you. And it can still also be tax deductible, or you could be starting a nonprofit or just different things. And I think they think, oh, well, the ministers want to support ministry because that's how they make a living, is because they're doing a ministry, and it's like, they can be like, oh, that's a trustworthy job, we got to give to that so that person can do that. And it's like, if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer or a child care worker or businesswoman or a single parent that's just trying to make ends meet, it's like, it's almost like you just can't, it's almost like you just can't, like, that you don't deserve to be funded or to be given a gift basket with teas and chocolates. You know, it's like, I don't know. I just feel like God has a way to spread out people to different careers, and it's not just asking for donations for pastors and Christian musicians, you know what I mean? And most of the people I know that are pastors or Christian musicians have huge houses, multi-cars, their kids are all dressed in name brand clothes, all the parents are dressed nice. It was just like, they got their hair done, their nails done, they got all of the latest gadgets, the nicest TVs, and then when you get to a position where you got more than you need, like, we got stuff, cluttery stuff, but it's like when you got, like, every new appliance, every stainless steel kitchen thing, every new washer dryer, every flat screen TV in every room, every latest video game, every iPhone, every this, every that, every new car, new SUVs, old SUV, new SUV, minivan. I feel like when you have all that stuff, it's easy to be ahead and pay off your debts. Like, I'm talking about not just necessarily working every day, but being funded. And then it's like, then you can do income generating property and form a business, because you don't sit here worry about how you're going to put food on the table. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, well, we're not just rich, we eat stew and we eat soup and leftovers and stuff from the freezer because we had to pinch every penny. And it's like God knows that people can do that and use a crock pot and do all this stuff, but also I feel like God knows that, I don't know, it's like, in the Christian world, it's like a certain type of people that should get the donations, and other people don't deserve squat, don't even deserve the time of day. And it's like, you can't just start giving everyone in the congregation money. You can't just start giving, because if you give one person, then the second person, the third person, the fourth person could be like, where's mine? The fifth person could be like, where's mine? I think the biggest thing that I missed out in the congregation is no support. Like, even they didn't want to pray. I think that last thing I talked to Pastor was, I don't have time to pray for you, but if you come to the Bible study and ask for prayer, we'll pray for you. I think that was what it was. It was like, I called our text for prayer, and they said that they don't have time to do it. And it was a very urgent emergency between me and my kids, and it was a very urgent emergency. I had already prayed it myself, but they say, 2 minutes together in Jesus' name, ... whatever it is. So I'm got some business books. Most of the books I took back to the library. I got some business books. I'm going to work tomorrow, and I'm deciding, do I work at all tomorrow? Do I not work tomorrow and work on Saturday? Do I work all day tomorrow, which is it's like 7 hours or something. I'm really tired. My dishes need to be done. My house needs to be cleaned. Everything that needs to be done needs to be done. I'm not eating my regular foods. Even my daughter was like, you need to go to the health food store and get your foods. It's like fresh fruits, vegetables, snacks, raw food products, like junk food products, like keeps me eating my food, keeps my kids eating their food. And then I was like, oh, maybe I'll just have to learn how to merge and eat the same foods that my kids do, and they have to eat more of what I eat, and then occasionally we'll do a little bit of separate. But I liked the place I had myself with the health food foods. I just have the thing is, food interactions with allergens, the more processed something is, the more they use, like these oat granola bars I ate today, I had a huge headache after I ate it. It's like, the more processed it is, and non-gluten-free and non-raw it is, the more likely it has things that I'm allergic to, like corn and tapioca and wheat, in the machine when they make the food. So it just makes it so that I am reactant and sick from the reaction. And I'm really mad at myself for... Sometimes you don't know the truth, and sometimes you know the truth, and then you ignore it. And then you ignore it. I saw a picture of... It almost looked like they were in a food bank, but it was a bunch of guys eating pastries and breads in the grocery store or something, and they were talking about some people are poor, and it's not about... It's something about obesity. It's not necessarily about this. It's about they're eating whatever they can. They can't afford produce and high protein food, so they're eating any snack just to keep from being hungry. And it's like it's like that's how I felt when I couldn't go buy more lettuce and I couldn't get any more carrots or all this stuff. It's like I just feel like I know what it feels like. And some people I know, like one person I know, they don't spend as much as I do on food, and they just fast, and they lay down and they drink water free from a well, and they fast, and it's just like they sleep for days and weeks. And I'm just like, I am not doing that because I'm not fasting. No, it's like I'm not doing it because I have to get up. Like I need to rest, I need to do work, I need to do chores, I need energy to think and drive, and I prefer to do all fresh fruits and vegetables and nuts, and it's just like so expensive. And I go like not eating most of the day, and then I make my kids some meat or something, and then I eat it. And it's like, oh, if I had my food, I would eat like this raw soup with a little bit of protein, something, and some raw bread with some garlic and some olive oil. Like I have these favorites I could eat easily, where my kids eat something else like mac and cheese. So I'm just mad about not being able to keep my favorite foods in the house. Keeping my favorite foods in the house keeps me eating them regularly without any issues. So the last thing I want to talk about, besides thinking, what about me, is I had 3 days last weekend where we just went through the cupboards and made stuff from scratch, mainly for the kids. Me and the animals found a few things of kale in there and some cabbage that we went through, but it was nasty. Actually, it was old, it was nasty. My desire right now is to not go to work, but to stay home and clean. I have a class on Sunday. I want to just clean this, clean that, do the dishes, fix the yard, take the tent down, and all this stuff. And I'm like, is this an electric Kia? I saw that before. Are you kidding me? An electric Kia? No. Why did they make a truck? I want a Kia truck. My daughter doesn't want a truck though, so I don't know. She's gonna take my car, I think. It's a new car, she can have it. It's like a brand new car. But I'm gonna pray, if God made those ministry people, like, they dress nice, they get a big old house, a car, a camper, they send all their kids to college, and they got nice haircuts, and they got their nails and stuff done, they got all these instruments and music studios set up, that I mentioned. It's like, imagine what you could do in a nice house. Like, I'm gonna ask God to guide me not to compare my life to these people. This is my own path, because I could go on for hours about, what if I had this? What if I had that? What if I had a big camper? What if I could go out in the woods? What if I had a better phone? What if I had a computer that worked? What if this? What if that? That would make me more able to be self-sufficient and to be able to afford paying off my bills and do this. Like, I feel like the more self-sufficient, the more efficient that I am, and the more that I can focus and think and not worry about being broke, the better you can end up being. And like, the more you worry, it's like if you're sick, or if you're broke, or if you're hungry, or your kids are suffering, it's like you're just survival mode. And I've been in survival mode for more than 10 years. I've been in survival mode for like 15 years. More than 15 years. There's a book coming out of this. Many areas and segments of my life has been like I've been with, the only food I had was ketchup packets in the glove box of the car. And I have one of those now, and it's been in there for like 4 years. I don't even know where it came from. I have one ketchup pack. Like, I'm not saying that that's all the food I had. There's just been a period of time where I was feeling like I was starving, and I was eating ketchup. And I was grateful for that stupid ketchup, because it kept me sane for a few hours. But it's like, I need to just be like, oh, I've been in some big houses the other day, and they had shelves. And they had stuff on the shelves. Like, oh, I've been wanting shelves. And then they had, like, storage closets in basements, and a kitchen that had enough pantries and cabinet space, and a front room that had furniture that was actually furniture. Like, you see my videos where I've slouched down because the furniture's so bad. It's like, they should have furniture that's normal, that you can actually sit on. And they have, like, backyards and sheds and stuff where you can put your old flower pots and your plants and your dirt and your toolboxes and your kitchen tools, instead of keeping in a house. And it's like, I'm sure, unlike me, have a good place to put a vacuum cleaner. We have a rainbow, old 80s rainbow, with all the pieces, like, right in the middle of the front floor. And then we have, like, a portable air conditioner in the middle of the floor, which is a huge appliance. It's like having a mini fridge, like a big fridge or something. And then we have, like, carpet cleaner, and we can't get in the closet. And it's like, it's my fault. It's all my fault. So, what I'm going to do is, this week is my goal. Between now and next Thursday, I'm going to do my own, everyone's doing challenges. I'm going to do my own thing. I know in the past 10 years, when I compare myself and get mad at other people and say, why don't I have what they have? I know in my heart, God doesn't let me. God has everyone doing different things, and we don't know. We know that these other families have struggles, and they have changes in their lives, and they had near death with their family. It's not like it was easy and peachy, and maybe they don't want to ask for money. Maybe that God's telling them to put on Facebook, we need money now, or car broke down, or stranded in the middle of somewhere. It's like, that's just what they feel like, desperately saying that if I don't ask and listen to God, and ask and trust in God to have people come, and laborers come to place money in my pockets, and I, would starve to death. And maybe he did give me this job at this lab so that I can work an hourly wage, even if it doesn't pay the student loans right now. So right now, I'm in a position where, I know in the past 10 years, if I'm getting angry at the neighbors, or getting angry at my schoolmates or my workmates, then I'm not working on my own program. And I have some books that are self-help-ish type books that I could work on a program. However, I am not working on this program. I am paying attention too much to other people. I found a card for my daughter when she was like 11. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is stupid. I was like, I gotta get this to her. And then try to decide if we're gonna keep cards or not. So I'm in a position right now where I know for a fact that when I dwell on what other people is doing, I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is, it's not about the present, about my actions and go here and do this. It's like my thoughts, and part of my thoughts stems from my past. My past partly stems from my experiences, and I don't think my experiences were as good as I wanted them to be. I wanted to let you guys know that I'm praying. I need to take care of my kids, and I need to clean up the house, and I regret to say this, however, I need to rest, because this weekend I was scrambling around trying to figure out how to pay the bills, and didn't buy food for a couple weeks, and it was just like scrambling around in survival mode, not able to focus on enjoying my life, not being able to sit down and just have a Labor Day weekend. I didn't do that, and I feel like I'm about to burn myself out. But it's like, people are like, why do you work so hard? Why do you do this? So it's like, you have a bunch of money. You have welfare. You have all these, like, $1,000 worth of food stamps. You have your mom giving you cash. You have your ex-husband paying child support and paying for your cell phones and your cars and all of your kids' computers. Like, and you have people driving your kids to and fro. And it's like, I don't have any of that. And I'm kind of like, I feel like, am I supposed to trust in God and just sit at home and, like, for the next week and just be like, I'm on vacation? Am I supposed to do that, or am I actually supposed to take the health that God gave me and get off my butt and go to the work in the car? So this week's challenge to myself is that I'm just gonna I'm planning on it, asking God to bless my plans. I'm gonna enjoy my house and my kids, and even if I know that I'm tired, like, I can't go the rest of my life saying I don't take a break, I don't take a break. Saturday's gonna be my break day, unless I decide to go to work, which I'm not planning on going to work, because the other person's going to work. I'm just like, enjoy my life, realize that the house is not perfect, realize that reality is telling me that I am a single mom, and I don't have help, and I did a big input in my kid. It took all day, all week, all month to get my kid into the school. And then I have another kid that I'm doing curriculum for homeschool. I know that I need to not be mad at myself because it's not perfect. And I talked about the fly lady before. I talked about can't have anyone over syndrome. Sometimes you just have to be in that chaos syndrome because life is out of control, or because you're still in survival mode, or because, like I said, spend all my energy making my kids food from scratch, but not really having any food for me to eat because I couldn't eat the same thing they ate, and then being just like tired and hungry and scared, and trying to pray and have faith to be grateful that we have more than ketchup packets, because they don't even like ketchup. And so that's where I am right now. Is just be who I am now, and know that God is not expecting me to be perfect. If I wanted to be more perfect because of God, then I'm doing that in God's timing. If I'm knowing that I'm accepting everything the way that the timing is supposed to be. Like, I think I'm impatient, and I have a lot of memories of people saying, you need to do this, you need to do that, you need to do this. When I was your age, I did this, and this. And they might not even done this and this, but they might have delusions that they did. Or, well, my kids did this regular school in this nice neighborhood with this huge house that's 4,500 square feet, and had this carport or this garage and this convertible and this SUV and these dogs and these cats and I went on vacation several times a year, and we had a big room with nice formal living room, and we had people come over for Thanksgiving, and all. It's like, I don't have the same thing you have, and I am at a place where I'm trying to keep, like, right now is my campaign to set aside a few bucks for Thanksgiving dinner, which one of my kids doesn't even care about. But it's like, I refuse to go through this again, where I don't mind going to the cupboards looking for stuff. It's kind of fun, but I don't want to be dependent on that and not being able to have anything to eat myself. So I'm not going to do that again. And then it's like, I gotta clean, I gotta get my kids in school, I gotta rest because I'm exhausted, and I'm going to be working next week and doing a bunch of births. And then I'm like, oh, I'm going to work more hours so I can set aside money so I can buy Thanksgiving dinner in a few months. $5, save $5 a week. So I could buy, $30 worth of food or whatever it ends up. So then it's like, I feel like going to work extra hours so I could pay my bills and my rent and buy some extra food for the holidays, so we actually have more than nothing. It's like, I feel like I'm going back in the rut of not being able to rest and not being able to clean house and not being able to go take the kids to do fun things or even go walk to the park, which is free. it just becomes like this vicious cycle. And it's like, I'm not getting any younger, and my kids aren't either, and it's like, I need to ask God for balance here, and I need to have faith that whatever goes on this next week when I do this challenge with looking at my own inventory, not other people's, I need to just be okay. Like, I could say for 7 days I can be okay with kind of repositioning, reevaluating, and re-looking at. Like, people often say, anyone you talk to, not anyone, but like a lot of people you talk to, especially successful people, they're like, I write this stuff down. I write it down. It's not just because you have hormonal issues, can't remember things, that may be part of it, but it's like, you see this vision in your mind and you write it down. You want to own a farm? Own a farm. You want to own a silo full of gluten-free flour and flax seeds? Then write it down on your wish list. You want to own a bee farm one day, even though the bees are dying out? Write it down and buy some organic property so that they don't get pesticides killing them and their young ones. It's like, it's just like that. And the other thing I wanted to mention for next Thursday, as a reward for my inventory taking, even if I just write one sentence down Thursday morning, and I'm going to set an alarm right now. I'm supposed to go, I was told someone to try to go to farmer's market next week. And I've been meaning to go to this market since it started, and I believe I'm going to go to this market next week. And hopefully one or two of my kids will go. And I'm willing to drive in the traffic and get there. And I'm willing to set aside the cash in order to buy up. In fact, that will probably be my plan, would be to buy up the vegetables. As long as there's no birth, buy up the vegetables to get next week's groceries. And then I'm on a mission to shop at one store, even though I went to the New Seasons to get food and salad and deli food and stuff for my daughter because of the school situation. We had to hover for like 5 or 6 hours in the other side of a different county, so we just hovered out there and I needed to go get my honey anyways, so I'm excited. So alright, this is much more longer, and I was instructed by my 15-year-old that I was supposed to be in bed over an hour and 40 minutes ago, so I'm going to sleep now. I'll feed the animals later.